Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to our weekly Spotlight on History. I'm Mary Helen Dellinger, curator of the Manassas Museum. Sports fans, I know it's been a long summer with COVID and the pandemic causing disruptions to baseball, NASCAR, and basketball. I feel your pain, and I'm hoping that football comes off this fall, fingers crossed. To help ease our collective misery regarding the scaled-back nature of our beloved sports, I want to share some baseball-related pieces today from the museum's collection. Before we get started, though, a bit of baseball trivia to share with you. On this date, September 30th, 1927, the great Babe Ruth hit his 60th home run of the season in a game against the Washington Senators. Bonus points to anyone who knows the name of the man who broke Ruth's record. I'll give you two hints. This man played for the New York Yankees, and he broke the record on October 1st, 1961. So think about that. No using Google. And I'll give you the answer at the end of this short presentation. So I'm standing here in the main gallery of the museum in front of the section of the exhibit that we call Manassas Entertains. We have a lot of neat pieces on exhibit here that I encourage you to come out and see when you're out and about. But these aren't the only things that are in our collection that relate to entertainment and sports. So let's take a look here at the jacket from this mid-20th century baseball uniform that was worn by a member of a team called the Manassas Max. You can see Manassas right on there. We have the jersey and the cap, as well as a baseball glove. This uniform dates to the early 1950s, and the name on the back is Brumbach and Ellis, so they were the local sponsor of the team. They didn't wear their players' names, they wore their sponsor names. And in doing some research on that, I found out that they were a local appliance store and service center that was once located on Centerville Road, not there anymore. Now, the Macs were one of several area teams that played here in a recreation league. The museum also owns a Brentsville Wildcats uniform. We don't have that here today. And these leagues are similar to the ones that you might be familiar with today, like GMBL, the Greater Manassas Baseball League. They played each other on local fields, and they even had playoffs and a championship game. So this is, they have the whole uniform, but I'm only showing the jacket today. So in addition to the uniform, I want to share with you a couple other pieces that we have here that I've brought out. So this is the hat that goes along with the uniform. You can see there, we've got some, it's a little bit worn and used, but the M matches up. And then this is the baseball glove. So I think this might be a catcher's mitt, I'm not sure. It's so worn that it's kind of stuck in this position. But this looks a little bit different to me than gloves that we've seen today, but it's in good shape. The leather's nice and supple, but it was stored flat for so long by the previous owners that we can't get it to open up. The final piece that I want to share with you today is this really neat baseball. This was signed. I want to hold it up here so my great camera person Rachel Goldberg can get a look. This was signed by Wilmer Fields. So there's, I'm going to let her do that. Okay, and then I'm going to show you a picture of this man because we found one online, which is really neat. So this is a picture of Mr. Fields. Now you all might be thinking, who is that? So here's a picture of Wilmer. Nice looking young man. So let me share some information with you about this man who was one of the greatest to ever play the game. Fields was actually born on August 2nd, 1922, right here in Manassas, Virginia. He showed a natural talent for baseball, playing for his local high school team as well as some local town rec teams. And when the Manassas team disbanded, he started playing up in Fairfax. And that's when Fields got his lucky break. The team management arranged a tryout with the Washington, D.C. Homestead Grays, and they were a professional team in what was called the Negro Leagues during the early parts of the 20th century, the mid parts of the 20th century. Baseball was all segregated at that time, so blacks and whites had their own leagues that they played in. Fields did such a good job pitching during that tryout that he was offered a contract on the spot, and he left Manassas at the age of 17 to embark upon a very successful career in that league. While with the Homestead Grays, Field helped his team to win several Negro League titles and became one of the best pitchers in that particular league. Now, the integration of Major League Baseball started to gain traction while Fields was playing, and he was offered contracts with the Dodgers, Yankees, Senators, and Tigers, in addition to other teams, yet he turned every single one of them down. And his reasoning was he was making more money playing where he was, and he wanted to continue to do that to be able to support his family. So I read a lot about Fields' career online. There's a book out about him. It's extremely long, and I'm not going to go into all of that today. Perhaps another presentation at a later date. Fields retired from baseball, moved back to Manassas, and died here on June 4th, 2002. We were unable to locate a gravesite for him, even though we did find his death record, and so we think that that might mean he was cremated but never interred, so we're not sure what happened there. But that baseball that I shared with you connects Manassas to this nation's greatest pastime, baseball. So that's what we have today. So, okay, here's the answer to the trivia question that hopefully somebody out there knows. The name of the man who broke Babe Ruth's home run record is none other than Roger Maris, another famous baseball name. Both Maris and his teammate Mickey Mantle were chasing that record during the baseball season of 1961. Mantle got hurt in September and was out for the rest of the year, and Maris broke the record on the last game of the season, October 1st, when he hit his 61st home run against the Red Sox. Now, in talking to some people, some baseball purists will argue that Maris's achievement is not as impressive, since he needed 159 games to tie the record and 163 to break it, while Babe Ruth only needed 155 games to achieve his record. So Ruth did it quicker. However you come down on this, baseball is still a great game, and these are some neat pieces in our collection. So that's it for today. I'll be back next month with more fun and hopefully informative presentations on local history. I'll see you then.